because at the top of the agenda, this is such a rare occurrence that a current AFL coach is unable to fulfil his duties on the weekend. Ken Hinkley is in hospital with a back ailment, a virus, which was explained by the Port Adelaide hierarchy.
We had Andrew Demetriou in town yesterday, and I noticed during that meeting that Ken was struggling a little bit. He had really severe back pain, and later in the day I ended up taking him to hospital just by chance, and we were thinking it was probably something like kidney stones or something like that. They kept him in overnight. As it turns out, it's a virus which has caused some inflammation internally somehow. Nothing to be concerned about. He's pain-free today. They kept him overnight, and they're monitoring all that sort of stuff. But he's well, and I understand that had we been playing at home, he'd be able to coach. But because of the fact we're going to Tasmania, the doctors have said, look, it's better to play safe on this one.
So it does land with a shock. The couple of recent occurrences of this, Chris Connolly famously replaced Peter Schwab, who had a dicky ticker in round 17, 2001. It was a last kick result.
Glad that came out okay.
And John Blakey stood in for Lee Matthews after a family. I think Lee's mum might have died that weekend.
Okay, I remember this one.
That weekend.
I remember the Schwab Connolly one.
And this happened on game day. I can recall stepping out of the radio box and it would have been the Hawthorn CEO, I imagine, who was just making an announcement at the back of the old media area at the MCG, saying, this is what's happened, this is where we are, and this is the change that's going to be made.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very rare. He must be crook. For Ken Hinkley to not go, you've got to be real crook.
Oh, that would... Imagine the doctor saying to him, no, you can't.
Yeah, I know.
And Ken's just staring back.
Give me something. Anyway.
Well, Alan Richardson is the Port Adelaide coach for the weekend. This is his first interview, I think, in this, guys. Alan, welcome to AFL 360. I don't know what the right salutation is. I'm leaning towards congratulations, but I'm not sure whether that's quite right.
No, it's just Johnny on the spot when the boss is cooked. That's what it is.
It is something that I would have had ambitions for a long time now. You will get to control a senior match. It must have an element of excitement in it for you.
Yeah, no, it is exciting, but certainly, there's no illusions of, senior coach. My role really is to have similar messages come out. We've been really consistent all year. Ken and I have worked with the other coaches, mind you, really closely in terms of making sure that we are consistent, and I would hope that it's the same words coming out of a different mouth, basically.
When you say the same message, Richo, when you and Ken Hinkley first met, and you've obviously known each other for a while, but when you actually first sat down and started discussing where we're going to take this football club, what style of football do we want, were you very, very similar at the first meeting?
Yeah, we were, Robbo. Yeah, no. In fact, it was reported the other day. I can't remember on which media outlet that Ken was a fairly offensive coach. I mean, that's really not the truth. He's got a really good balance. That was a significant focus that we brought into the footy club. And whilst it had been worked on, it certainly hadn't got there yet. But no, we really are quite similar in terms of the way we look at the game, and I suppose more importantly the way we set up a program to get the best out of the players.
Is Ken? It was really interesting when we had Kochi on here during the week. He spoke about the halftime address by Ken Hinkley, and he was talking about how they built their message, we will never give in, don't let anyone down. So there's quite a bit of emotion in his address rather than just putting up the whiteboard and saying, right, we're not doing this, we've got to do this, this and this. Are you going to be one of those guys, I suppose, coaching with emotion? It might only be the 1 week, but coach with emotion, or are you going to be probably more looking at the whiteboard?
Look, it depends a little bit on the game, Robbo. If it is, I think coaches get incredibly frustrated with lack of effort, really. And if it is that the guys don't give effort, which would surprise me, although the first half against the Eagles, no disrespect to them, they were fantastic. We were off the mark in terms of what we were looking to do, and hence, Ken is quite, he's quite strong on that, and was certainly the case on the weekend. So I would hope that I'd be similar. It'll be different. I'm not Ken. he's incredibly strong when it comes to that. I would hope I would be as strong as I can be to make sure that I make the point, absolutely.
Are you nervous at all?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm actually. I received a message from Ken. This might give you an understanding, perhaps, of a little bit of the anxiety. Ken said, this was before I went in to meet him today. The message was, "It's over to you. No pressure. 5-zip." And I'll change the word so it comes across okay and tell you, don't muck it up.
That's excellent.
So with that in mind, there's a little bit of pressure, but I mean we're going down to play a fantastic footy side that hasn't been winning, and we know they're all but getting the result. They've been in pretty good form against outstanding opposition, so it's going to be a real challenge and one that we're looking forward to.
So just give us an insight, Alan, into what Ken has been going through in the last day or so. He usually does his press conferences standing up. Yesterday he was sitting down and clearly not comfortable in the manner that he usually is. When did you realise things weren't quite right?
Well, actually, I had to go to Melbourne for a seminar, and we were speaking on the phone. And he was. He then had a meeting. Andrew Demetrio was over in town, so he went along that and was starting to feel some real pain in his back and starting to struggle. As I said, I spent a bit of time in there with him today. He's fine. He's sitting up. They're basically going to have to put some sort of restraint on him, I think, to keep him away. And as Keith said, if the game was here in Adelaide, then he'd be coaching the team. It's just the fact that there's a flight and the issues that are associated with flying. I don't really understand all of that, but that's really the only reason he won't be coaching.
Oh, stuff him. You get the opportunity, Richo, and you grab it. Will you be taking this? I don't know if this is allowed to happen or not. He'll be watching the game, no doubt, at home. If he wants to tell you something, do you think he'll be able to contact the coach's box, or can he ring you on your mobile and say, "What about this?" or suggest this?
Well, yes, absolutely, yeah. We did talk about that today. He's really mindful of making sure that you only get part of the information from the broadcast. He won't have the opportunity to see the game as we'll see it. He understands that. Even the behind the goals stuff that you guys see and use with David King, etc. He doesn't have the luxury of seeing why. He just see outcome stuff, and so. Yeah, but I've got no doubt he won't be able to help himself, and so we'll have someone there.
Put it on silent,
potentially
mate.
Someone there, yeah.
Don't take the call. Just say, I'm coaching, Ken. Leave me alone. Let me get on with it.
As I said earlier, I'm just the mouthpiece. It'll certainly be very much, still Ken's messages, our messages that have been the case all pre-season and the start of the season.
Well, Alan, we'll all be looking on. Don't muck it up.
Good on you guys. Thanks.
See you later.
Alan Richardson with us. He'll coach Port Adelaide this weekend.
I was going to yell out something like that, but I thought I would probably muck it up saying it. So I thought I wouldn't do that. Anyway.
This is quite different from the two precedents we put up because Ken Hinkley is quite able, and I think Schwalbe was unconscious when his game was being played, and certainly Lee with the bereavement with the family. So that dynamic will be interesting. You could imagine the text messages all day, couldn't you?
I didn't know if he can or didn't. Now, there's always talk about, use of mobile phones on match days and stuff like that. But Ken Hinkley would find it very difficult not to get involved. He's not delusional in the head. He's not unconscious. He's watching the game. He might have frustrations with a player that have been building up. He might ring up and say that famous Barassi line, "Get Healy off."
I wonder if they could hook up Ken's mobile down to the phone on the boundary.
It's good. He's a really nice fella, Alan Richardson. See, everyone likes when people get a break. It's only a small break, but hey, he's deserved the break.
Okay, the other